The map was older than every empire in the galaxy, and someone had carefully removed a single star. Dr. Elias Vance stood alone inside the Interstellar Archive Vault. The chamber was silent except for the soft hum of preservation fields. The star chart floated in front of him, projected in pale blue light. It was not a copy. It was the original record, etched into crystal by a civilization that had died before most species had learned space travel. Every star was marked with perfect care, except one. Elias leaned closer. His breath slowed. His fingers trembled just a little. One coordinate had been physically scraped away, not digitally deleted, not corrupted by time. Scraped, the surface of the crystal was damaged in a tight circle, as if someone had taken a precise tool and removed only that point. The rest of the map was untouched. Perfect. He adjusted the magnification. The scrape marks were smooth, deliberate, careful. Someone had not wanted that star to exist. Behind him, the massive vault doors were sealed. No one else had clearance to enter during deep archive hours. Elias had requested this session alone. He now wished he had not. He ran a spectral scan over the damaged area. The crystal still held faint residue. A shadow of the original marking remained beneath the surface. There had been something there. He overlaid modern galactic charts onto the ancient map. His screen flickered. At the exact erase coordinate, there was nothing on current records. No star, no system, empty space. But the surrounding stars were slightly distorted. Gravitational drift. His heart beat faster. Empty space should not bend like that way. He zoomed out, then in again. He ran the calculation twice. The math did not change. Something heavy had once been there. Heavy enough to pull on nearby stars even now. Elias swallowed. He opened a secondary archive channel and searched for references connected to the missing coordinate. The system processed for a moment. Access restricted. He frowned. That made no sense. This chart predated the Galactic Council. Nothing on it should fall under modern restriction codes. He tried again, using deeper archival pathways. This time, a short phrase appeared on the screen. Designation removed by unified accord. No explanation. No date. Just that. Unified Accord was the ancient alliance that had formed after the first expansion wars. Almost every known civilization had signed it. It was meant to preserve knowledge, not erase it. Elias felt a cold weight settle in his chest. He rotated the map again, studying the scrape marks. Whoever had done this had not shattered the crystal. They'd used a focused microabrasion beam. Clean, careful, permanent. This was not panic. It was a decision. A soft alert chimed at his wrist console. Long-range gravitational monitoring had updated. Without thinking, Elias linked the data to the erased coordinate. The display filled with numbers. Then a shape formed. A distortion field. Weak but steady. There was mass there. Hidden. His mouth went dry. He adjusted the filters to search for radiation signatures. Nothing. No normal stellar output. No fusion light. But a faint signal pulsed at the edge of detection. Regular. Mechanical. Elias froze. It was not natural. He isolated the frequency. The signal repeated every 32 seconds. A beacon. Very weak. Very old. He leaned back slowly, his mind racing. If a system still existed at that location, it was being masked, hidden behind some kind of gravitational veil. Technology far older than any current empire. And someone had known. Someone had erased it from the oldest surviving map in the galaxy. He checked the timestamp embedded in the crystal's inner layer. The removal had been done thousands of years after the map was first created. Long after the original civilization was gone, which meant another species had altered it. Carefully, officially, he opened a secure channel request to the Council archive servers. His hand hovered over the send command. If he reported this, the coordinate would be sealed again. Access would vanish. He would be reassigned. If he stayed silent, he could study it longer. The beacon pulsed again. 32 seconds. Steady. Waiting. Elias made a choice. He copied the faint gravitational data to a private buffer. He saved the spectral residue of the scraped coordinate. Then he closed a restricted archive window. The vault felt colder now. He stared once more at the ancient chart. Every empire had risen and fallen under these stars. Wars had been fought, borders drawn and erased. But this small damaged circle felt heavier than all of it. It was not an accident. It was not decay. It was a warning, or a secret. His console chimed again. The beacon signal had strengthened by a fraction, almost as if it sensed observation. Elias slowly overlaid the erased coordinate with modern human exploration routes. No human ship had ever traveled directly through that sector. It had been marked as unstable space for centuries. Unstable because of unexplained gravitational fluctuations. Not empty. Hidden. He whispered to the silent vault. "What are you?" The beacon pulsed again. For the first time in thousands of years, someone had noticed a missing world. And somewhere in the dark, something had noticed back. Dr. Elias Vance did not sleep that night. The beacon signal kept replaying in his mind. Every 32 seconds. Calm. Steady. Waiting. By morning, he stood inside the command deck of a human exploration fleet headquarters. The walls were lined with holographic maps and tactical displays. In the center of the room stood Commander Adrian Cole. Cole was not easily surprised. He had seen first contact events, border conflicts, and dying stars. But as Elias projected the ancient map into the air and zoomed in on the scraped coordinate, the commander's jaw tightened. "You're certain it wasn't damage?" Cole asked quietly. "It was deliberate," Elias said. "A precision removal. And the gravitational readings confirm there's mass at that location." Cole folded his arms. "And the council?" "They restricted the archives the moment I searched deeper." Cole gave a dry smile. "Of course they did." Within hours, a private meeting was called with representatives from several allied species. The chamber lights dimmed as Elias presented his findings again. The reaction was not what he expected. No one argued. No one laughed. Instead, the alien delegates shifted in their seats. One avian representative lowered his crest feathers. A tall crystalline envoy dimmed its inner glow. Finally, an elder diplomat from an ancient species spoke. "You must not pursue this." Elias blinked. "Why?" There was a pause. "The coordinate you describe appears in fragments of very old records," the diplomat said slowly. "It is referred to only as the world that must not be marked." The chamber fell silent. Elias felt chill. "What does that mean?" Commander Cole asked. The elder's voice thinned. "It means that its location was to be removed from public record. Permanently." "For what reason?" Elias pressed. Another silence. "No reason was preserved," the diplomat replied. Elias activated a secondary screen. Every archive entry that references it ends the same way, abruptly, as if someone cut the record mid-sentence. He displayed 3 ancient documents. Each mentioned a distant system. Each ended in broken text. One ended with the words, "Contact was made, and we observed." Nothing followed. Cole leaned forward slightly. "Observed what?" The delegates did not answer. The crystalline envoy finally spoke, its voice vibrating softly. "Some knowledge destabilized the civilizations." "That sounds like fear," Cole said. "It is caution," the envoy replied. Elias felt frustration rise in his chest. "You erase an entire world from galactic history. You physically altered the oldest surviving star chart. That is not caution. That is suppression." The avian representative's feathers trembled. The Accord demanded it. "The Unified Accord?" Cole asked. "Yes." "Every species agreed?" Elias said. Another pause. "Yes." The meeting ended with no approval and no official statement. The delegates left quickly, avoiding eye contact. Back in a private corridor, Cole turned to Elias. "They're afraid," he said. "Of what?" "I don't know," Cole replied. "But fear, that old usually has a reason." Elias hesitated. "The beacon is still active." Cole stopped walking. "Active?" he repeated. "Yes. Weak but stable. And the gravitational masking field. It's advanced. Older than any known civilization." Cole was silent for several long seconds. Then he spoke in a lower voice. If we bring this to the full council, they will bury it again. Elias nodded. So we don't, Cole said. 3 days later, a small human research vessel left dock without ceremony. It was not armed heavily. It carried a skeleton crew of scientists and engineers. Officially, it was conducting deep-field gravitational studies. Unofficially, it was traveling to a forbidden coordinate. No announcement, no council approval, just curiosity. The journey took weeks. As they neared the sector marked unstable on modern maps, instruments began to flicker. Navigation systems reported slight distortions in space-time. Gravitational variance increasing, one technician reported. Cole stood behind the pilot's chair. Is it dangerous? Not destructive, the technician said, but controlled. Elias leaned closer to his display. The distortion patterns were not random. They formed a shell. A veil. It's a masking field, Elias whispered. Someone wrapped an entire system in it. Can we pass through? Cole asked. The pilot adjusted the approach angle. There's a narrow corridor, like an opening. Who builds an opening into something they're hiding? One crew member muttered. Cole gave the order. The vessel moved forward. For a moment, every screen went white. Instruments screamed with static. The hull vibrated softly as if passing through thick water. Then the noise stopped. Silence filled the bridge. The main viewport cleared. A star burned before them. Bright, stable, golden. Gas giants orbited peacefully. Asteroid belts glimmered. And near the inner orbit, a blue-green planet turned slowly in the light. Breath left Elias in a quiet rush. It's intact, he said. Stable atmosphere. Another crew member reported. No debris fields. No radiation scars. Cole stared at the world. This was never destroyed. Elias pulled up deeper scans. Energy signatures pulsed faintly across the system. Ancient satellites. Massive orbital structures. Dormant but whole. The beacon signal grew stronger. 32 seconds. Clear now. Not random noise. A repeating identifier code. Human. The bridge fell silent. Elias looked at Commander Cole. The missing world isn't gone, he said softly. Cole nodded, eyes fixed on the planet. No, he agreed. It's hidden. Outside the viewport, the planet rotated slowly, as if it had been waiting. And somewhere in the shadows of its orbit, something old stirred. The missing world was not destroyed. It was hidden, and someone had wanted it forgotten. The ship moved deeper into the hidden system. No alarm sounded. No defense weapons appeared. The star at the center burned with calm, steady light. It was not too bright, not too old. It looked carefully balanced, as if someone had tuned it. Commander Adrian Cole stood on the bridge, silent. Dr. Elias Vance stared at the main display. His hands rested on the console, but he had forgotten to move them. At the center of the system, a blue-green planet turned slowly. Clouds drifted across oceans. White caps shone along the poles. Large continents stretched across the surface. It looked alive. Atmosphere is stable, a technician reported. Oxygen levels within human range. Temperature moderate. No radiation damage. Another added. No impact scars. No orbital debris. Elias shook his head slightly. No war. No disaster. The world had not been destroyed. It had been preserved. As the ship moved closer, shapes began to appear around the planet. At first, they looked like broken rings. Then the scan sharpened. They were not broken. They were structures. Massive constructs, each thousands of kilometers long, arranged in careful alignment around the planet. They curved and folded in ways that hurt the eyes, bending light slightly as they rotated. Are those stations? One crew member whispered. Elias zoomed in. No, not stations. The structures were smooth and dark, covered in lines that glowed faintly blue. They were not built for habitation. They were built for function. What do they do? Cole asked. Elias ran deeper scans. The results made him lean back slowly. They're manipulating gravity, he said. How? They're bending space-time in controlled pulses. On the main display, a wide projection formed. It showed invisible waves spreading outward from the system. Not fast, not violent, slow and steady. The waves extended far beyond the star's orbit, beyond the sector, beyond the region. They're stabilizing space, Elias said quietly. The bridge grew still. He pulled up galactic data overlays, records of past stellar collapses, supernova events, dark matter distortions. He placed a hidden system at the center. The pattern was clear. Areas within range of the pulses showed fewer catastrophic events, fewer collapses, fewer unpredictable distortions. Elias felt a strange mix of awe and fear. This system has been protecting the galaxy, he said. Protecting it from what? Cole asked. From itself. He enlarged one of the megastructures. Its surface pattern shifted slowly, like veins carrying energy. These aren't weapons, Elias said. They're stabilizers. The realization settled over the crew. The world had not been erased because it was dangerous. It had been erased because it was powerful. Powerful enough to shape the balance of the entire galaxy. A soft tone interrupted the silence. The beacon signal increased in strength. Signal origin? Cole asked. From the planet's surface, a technician answered. Elias pulled up a biological scan request. It was a long shot, but he tried. The system responded. Access denied. Then, a new message appeared on his screen. Genetic verification required. Elias frowned. It's asking for DNA. Whose? Cole asked. Human. The bridge went silent again. Cole looked at Elias. You're sure? Elias nodded slowly. The code is built on human genetic markers. That's impossible, someone said quietly. This system is older than our civilization. Elias swallowed. Yes. The implication hung in the air. Either humans were not as new to the galaxy as they believed, or someone had designed this place for them. Cole straightened. Prepare a landing shuttle. Within the hour, a small shuttle descended through soft clouds toward a wide plain near the equator. The land was green and untouched. Rivers cut through valleys. Forests stretched toward distant mountains. No cities. No ruins. No visible technology. It looked like a peaceful, natural world. The shuttle touched down gently. The hatch opened. Commander Cole stepped out first, followed by Elias and 2 crew members. The air was clean, warm, calm. Elias felt something strange the moment his boots touched the soil. A vibration, very faint, like a heartbeat beneath the ground. Do you feel that? He asked quietly. Cole nodded. Above them, in orbit, the megastructures began to glow brighter. On the shuttle's external display, alerts flashed. Energy spike detected. Gravitational pulse increasing. Elias looked up at the sky. Thin lines of blue light traced across the clouds, connecting the structures in orbit. The entire system seemed awake. Back on the ship, alarms chimed. Activation sequence detected. A technician shouted through the comm. Triggered by surface contact, another said. Specifically by human biological presence. Elias stared at his own gloved hands. It was waiting, he whispered. The ground beneath them hummed softly. Not violently, not dangerously, just alive. High above, the massive construct shifted slightly, aligning in perfect formation. The beacon signal stopped repeating. It had been answered. Commander Cole turned slowly, scanning the horizon. This world wasn't hiding from the galaxy, he said. It was waiting for us. The sky brightened as the stabilization field expanded, stronger than before. Across distant sectors of space, stars flickered slightly as gravitational pressure eased. The hidden system had reawakened, and it had done so the moment a human stepped onto its surface. The ground continued to hum softly beneath their feet. Above them, the massive orbital structures glowed brighter, lines of blue light moving across their surfaces like flowing rivers. On the shuttle's display, new data began to stream rapidly. Access granted. The pilot's voice said over the comm. Elias felt his pulse race. Granted to what? Archives, the pilot replied. Something just opened. A structure rose slowly from the plain a short distance away. It did not break the ground violently. The earth parted smoothly, like water making space. A dark tower emerged, covered in the same glowing lines as the orbital rings. A doorway formed at its base. Commander Adrian Cole looked at Elias. Neither of them spoke, but both understood. They walked toward it. The air felt charged but calm. Not hostile, not defensive. Inside, the chamber was wide and circular. The walls were smooth stone mixed with metal that shimmered softly. At the center stood a floating sphere of light. As Elias stepped closer, the sphere reacted. Thin beams scanned him from head to toe. "Genetic match confirmed," a calm voice said. The voice was not loud. It was steady, ancient. "Human lineage verified." Cole exhaled slowly. The sphere expanded, projecting images into the air around them. Stars formed. Galaxies turned. Then a time marker appeared. Millions of years ago. Elias felt his breath catch. The images showed a powerful civilization, tall figures made of light and matter. They moved between stars with ease. They shaped systems. They built structures like the ones in orbit above. "They're not in any historical record," Elias whispered. "They predate all known empires," Cole said quietly. The projection shifted. A young Earth appeared. Primitive oceans. Volcanic land. Simple life. The ancient beings descended. "They seeded it," Elias said softly. The images confirmed it. Genetic strands formed in the air. Human DNA. Carefully designed. Adjusted. Guided. "Humans were not an accident," the ancient voice said. Elias felt dizzy. The projection continued. The hidden world appeared in its early form. Bright, active, fully powered. "This system was constructed as a stabilization network," the voice explained. "Its purpose: maintain galactic structural balance." Images of unstable stars collapsing filled the chamber. Dark matter distortions twisted space. Then the network activated. The distortions calmed. Stars stabilized. "The network responds only to authorized genetic signatures," the voice continued. "Human?" Cole folded his arms slowly. "We were meant to control it." "Yes," the voice answered. Elias looked at the glowing sphere. "Why?" "Because your species was designed for adaptive resilience and moral independence." The words echoed in the quiet chamber. "You were not meant to rule," the voice continued. "You were meant to choose." The projection shifted again. Other species appeared. Ancient civilizations discovering the hidden system long ago. Their ships approached. Their scientists observed. They learned the truth, but the system did not respond to them. It remained silent. The projection showed their reaction. Fear, concern, debate. "If the network depends on humanity," Elias said slowly, "then without us, the galaxy destabilizes over long time scales," the voice confirmed. Stars slowly collapsing. Regions of space tearing apart. Civilizations falling not by war, but by physics. Cole understood. "They erased it," he said. "Yes." The projection showed representatives of multiple species signing the unified accord. They agreed to remove the world from all star charts. They altered records. They scraped coordinates from ancient maps. Not fear of destruction, fear of dependence. If the galaxy learned that its survival rested in the hands of one young species, power would shift, politics would change, balance would collapse. So they chose silence. Elias felt a mix of anger and sadness. "They should have told us," he said. "Your development was incomplete," the voice replied. "Premature knowledge could have altered your growth." Cole looked around the chamber. "So this world is a fail-safe?" "Yes." "A sanctuary?" "Yes." "A control center?" "Yes." The hum in the walls grew slightly louder. New data streamed across the air. Warning indicators. Elias turned sharply. "What is that?" The sphere dimmed slightly. "Cosmic anomaly detected," the voice said calmly. A projection filled the chamber. Far beyond the hidden system, a massive distortion moved through space. It bent light. It twisted gravitational fields. Stars in its path flickered dangerously. It is accelerating, the voice continued. Projected impact. Multiple systems within 100 standard years. Cole stared at the projection. What causes it? Dark matter instability. Rare but catastrophic. Elias felt cold. Can the stabilization network stop it? He asked. Yes, but it requires full human authorization and coordinated activation. Cole looked at Elias. Without intervention, the voice said, regional galactic collapse probability increases by 43% over the next millennium. The numbers hung heavy in the air. Elias swallowed. So the galaxy erased the one system that could save it. He said quietly, yes. The projection zoomed in on the approaching anomaly. It pulsed like a slow, silent storm in space. The sphere's voice remained steady. Human operators required. Outside, the sky brightened as the orbital structures shifted again. The hidden world had revealed its truth, and now it had delivered a warning. Only humans could activate the full network. Only humans could stop what was coming. The projection of the cosmic anomaly hovered in the air like a silent storm. It moved slowly, but its size was vast. Stars near its edge flickered and bent. Entire systems would collapse if it continued unchecked. Inside the chamber, Commander Adrian Cole stood very still. Dr. Elias Vance watched the numbers scroll across the ancient display. Probability curves, collapse chains, expanding damage zones. If it reaches those clusters, Elias said quietly, one collapse will trigger another, a chain reaction. The ancient sphere pulsed softly. Full stabilization field required, it said. Human authorization mandatory. Cole looked at Elias. If we activate it quietly, the Council never has to know. Elias understood what that meant. The galaxy would be saved. The secret would remain buried. Humanity would continue unaware of its true place. But the lie would continue. They erased this world because they were afraid. Elias said, afraid of needing us. Cole gave a small nod. And if we reveal it? Elias asked. Politics will change, Cole said. Power structures will shift. Some will resist. The projection of the anomaly pulsed again. There was no time for long debate. Cole opened a secure channel to Earth Command and to the Galactic Council at the same time. The Council chamber appeared in holographic form around them. Alien representatives stared as the hidden world sky and orbital structures became visible behind Cole. You traveled to the Forbidden Coordinate. One delegate said sharply. Yes, Cole replied calmly. You were warned. Yes. Elias stepped forward. He projected the ancient archives into the chamber, the precursor civilization, the seeding of Earth, the stabilization network. Silence filled the council space. It is true, Elias said simply. The system depends on human genetic activation. It has always depended on it. Murmurs spread among the representatives. You hid this from us, Cole said, his voice steady but not angry. You erased it because you fear dependence. The elder diplomat from before lowered his gaze. We feared imbalance. And now? Cole asked. The projection shifted to the cosmic anomaly. Gasps filled the chamber. Without activation, Elias said, multiple systems will collapse over time. The network can stop it, but it requires full power. And full power requires humans, Cole finished. The chamber fell quiet. Cole straightened slightly. We will activate the network, he said, openly, with all of you watching. He turned to Elias. Authorize it. Elias placed his hand against the glowing sphere. Genetic scanners flared bright. The ground beneath the chamber vibrated gently. Primary authorization confirmed. The ancient voice said, Secondary command, it asked. Cole stepped beside Elias and placed his hand against the sphere. Commander Adrian Cole, he said, clearly, authorize full stabilization. Command accepted. Above the planet, the massive orbital structure shifted into perfect alignment. Blue light expanded outward in a vast, controlled wave. On every council display, the galaxy map updated in real time. The anomaly's path bent slightly. Then more. The stabilization field intensified, pushing against a distortion. The cosmic storm slowed. Stars near its edge stopped flickering. Gravitational chaos eased. No explosions. No weapons. No fleets. Just steady, controlled power. The anomaly's shape began to break apart, its energy dispersing safely into deep space. Across the galaxy, observatories confirmed the change. "It's dissipating," Elias whispered. The council watched in stunned silence as the threat faded without a single shot fired. After long minutes, the ancient sphere dimmed to a calm glow. "Anomaly neutralized," it said. Cole lowered his hand. The chamber remained silent. Finally, the elder diplomat spoke. "We erased this world because we feared what it meant." Elias nodded slightly. "It was never erased to hide danger," he said. "It was erased to hide responsibility." Cole looked around at the gathered leaders. "We don't want control," he said. "We don't want dominance. But we will not hide either." No one argued. Weeks later, the Galactic Council assembled again. This time, there were no shadows in their voices. A new official star chart rotated slowly above the chamber floor. Every known system was marked clearly. At the center of a once-empty coordinate, a new star system glowed. The scraped space on ancient maps had been restored. A representative stepped forward. "The restored world will be recognized formally in all records," the elder diplomat announced. "Its designation?" Cole glanced at Elias. Elias gave a small, thoughtful smile. "Solace," Cole said. The name appeared across the map. Solace. Not a weapon. Not a throne. A guardian. Across the galaxy, updated charts replaced old ones. The blank space was gone. In its place stood a reminder. Humanity had not demanded recognition. It had chosen openness. It had chosen responsibility. In the quiet chamber on Solace, the ancient structures continued their steady work, stabilizing stars no one would ever see. The galaxy had erased the world out of fear. Humanity restored it out of responsibility.